Hi, hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk about, in fact, over the next couple of days, we're going to talk about obstacles that people face when it comes, between them reaching their weight loss goals and what they've planned for, basically. You see, a lot of people struggle to lose weight, and we jump from one fad diet program to another. We jump from one fad exercise program to another. A whole population leans towards supplements that promise weight loss. By now we should know that there is no magic pill that helps you lose weight, because if there was a magic pill, and even if it cost a lot of money, people would save that money to buy that pill and lose weight. But we see that all across the globe. There is absolutely no pill which will help you lose weight. It comes down to your lifestyle, and it comes down to what is preventing us from losing weight. You see, we're always focused on things that we should do to sleep better, things that we should do to feel better, things that we should do to lose weight. But what we don't look at are, what are the obstacles that we've built in our own life that prevents us from sleeping better, that prevents us from feeling better, that prevents us from losing weight. So we're going to look at some of these obstacles today. Number one is dietary in nature. We have to understand that the culprit is carbohydrates. Now, we know there are good carbohydrates and we know there are bad carbohydrates, but most people today are eating too many carbohydrates. Even by cutting down your carbohydrates by 5 to 10% per day will result in immediate weight loss. I am not talking about no carb. I am not a fan of no carb diets. It may suit certain people. Ketogenic diets may suit certain people when it's done the right way and not misused like a fad diet. But most people lose weight only by dropping their carbohydrates a little bit. We have to understand that people have different jobs, people work, people do different things, and some of their jobs may require a certain amount of carbohydrates for energy. Some people are just used to it. So we're not over here to make a blanket statement and saying everyone get off carbs. No, the human body also requires carbohydrates, the right quantity and the right quality. But right now, if you're struggling to lose your weight, what we need to start looking at is how can we get more fats into your diet. I'm talking about good quality, clean fats. I'm not talking about your hydrogenated oils. I'm not talking about your trans fat. I'm not talking about refined oils. I'm not talking about deep fried food. I'm talking about good sources of fat, your omega-3, your nuts, your seeds, good oils, cold pressed oils like olive oil, coconut oil, pure ghee. All of these things are great fats, and we need fat to burn fat in the human body, period. For the longest time, we've been fooled that carbohydrates is what we require, and fats has been demonized all across the world, because what do most foods consist of? All your processed foods, all your junk food, everything that you find around is carbohydrates. It's a huge cash market for the food lobbies. So they keep pushing carbohydrates because we keep consuming it and we keep buying it and spending more money on it. When you drop your carbohydrates, and you want to try this at every meal that you have, if you're the kind of person who has breakfast, lunch, and dinner, try reducing your carbs at every meal by even 1 to 2 tablespoons, whether it's rice you're having, whether it's bread, whether it's roti, all of that stuff. So 3 meals in a day, you reduce it. Each time you multiply those 3 meals by 7 days in a week, and you are guaranteed losing weight, because the biggest culprit is carbohydrates. Under that comes your white sugar consumption, your junk food, and everything else. Now remember, no matter how many carbs you eat, you cannot outtrain a bad diet. So if you've had a carb heavy meal and you think you're going to the gym to work out hard and run on that treadmill and burn those calories, it doesn't work that way. You see, your body doesn't work that way. Your body works on the principle of biology, physiology, and chemistry, not on the principle of math. So we need to understand that just going low carbohydrate the right way, all of us eat more carbohydrates than we require to. When we fill up that plate, if you are a carb eater, most people in India, what I've noticed is they have more rice, they have more roti, and they have very little lentils and very little vegetables and protein on their plate. You change that. You reduce your carbohydrates. You still have a little bit of it if you want, but you have more of the vegetables, you have more of the proteins and more of the lentils, and you'll automatically find yourself breaking through that weight loss plateau that you've probably reached right now. Now, if you go low carb and you don't change your diet, you are going to feel hungry, you are going to feel irritable, and you are going to feel frustrated. So you need to supplement that by increasing your fats. When you have good fats in your system, number one, you're not going to feel hungry. Number two, you're going to feel energized in your brain, in your body as well. And you balance your protein. I'm not a fan of very high protein diets because a lot of people overstuff themselves with protein, and that isn't a good thing for you. You need to have the right amount of protein for your body type, your weight, the kind of workouts that you do. but with the amount of fat as well. You want to increase your fat if you are decreasing your carbohydrate intake in your system. Now, don't overdo it on fats as well, because too much of fats is a bad thing as well. So you want to probably check how you can come to that perfect combination of balancing your diet. But right now, if you reduce your carbohydrates, you will reduce weight. For all the people who can't give up socializing, not that you should, who have late night dinners all the time, late night parties, what you still have in control is the fact that you don't have to eat carbohydrates at night. Eating carbohydrates at night is the worst thing for anyone, because you don't need energy when the body's preparing to sleep. You need more protein and you need more fats. That's what your body's going to utilize while you're sleeping. So even if you have a late night, you want to stick to more protein and more fat and absolutely no carbs if you can. Now, if your night goes on till early morning, you may need a little bit of energy, so you may need a little bit of carbohydrates, but that's up to you to decide according to your lifestyle. So the number one point is go low carbohydrate. Low carbohydrate. I didn't say no carbohydrate. I said low carbohydrate according to your lifestyle, and balance it out with your fat consumption and your protein consumption. Number two, something that we see commonly as an obstacle in most people who are struggling to achieve their weight loss is rest and recovery. You see, again, exercising has become a fad. People think that they can punish the weight off their body by over-exercising. All you do is cause more, basically you put more negative stress on your muscles and they need time to recover. But most of these people don't sleep well at night. They cut down on their sleep. They sleep 4 to 5 hours. They wake up feeling tired in the night. They have disturbed sleep. They wake up tired in the morning. So they skimp on their sleep and they skimp on their recovery, thinking that their workouts is going to work for them. Well, your workout is practically useless if you don't have the right amount of recovery. As important as your workout is the amount of recovery you have, because it's only when your muscles recover that it uses energy and boosts your metabolic power to really burn fat. So if you have a hard, intensive workout, you need to sleep and you need to recover more. If you've had a less active day, then your sleep can be a little bit less, although you should never play around with your sleep hours. So you see, everyone's trying to pack in so much into their day, and yet they want to socialize and yet they want to skimp on their sleep. It just never works that way. You need to have good restful sleep and recovery if you want to start losing that belly fat and if you want to start losing weight. It cannot work any other way. And that's why athletes do 3 things. They eat, they sleep, they train. They eat, they sleep, they train, and repeat, repeat, repeat. We don't do that. We eat, we sleep, we train, we go out, we socialize, we work, we consume alcohol, we do all of these things and we skimp on our sleep. And then we wonder why we're not losing weight. We shouldn't have to punish our bodies with over-exercising to lose weight. That means you are defaulting in some other lifestyle aspect in your life. So that's the second point. Look at your recovery and look at your sleep. These are extremely, extremely important. The third obstacle, we have several obstacles, but we're going to keep it to just 3 on today's video. We all know that stress has a direct connection with your ability to lose weight. The more chronically stressed you are, if you're constantly anxious, if you're filled with emotions all the time, you're chronically emotionally stressed. We all know that there's a stress hormone called cortisol. When cortisol is chronically high, it affects all of your other hormones. You basically have lower progesterone, which means your estrogen increases. When your estrogen increases in a man or a woman, that's not a good thing for your weight. You find all this weight accumulates in your abdominal region and your midriff region, and sometimes on your thigh and your butt area as well. Now, we need to know that this hormonal imbalance is caused because of our stress levels as well. So we can be working out our physical body, we can be eating nutritious food all the time, but if we're not exercising our mind and we're not trying to make our emotional health better, that's a huge obstacle for people not to lose weight. Now, what can you do? Everyone has stress, agreed. We can't change certain things in our life, agreed. But we can change the way we react to stress. We can change the way we look at stress. So for that, it requires you to have a great workout with your mind and your emotions as well. For some people, it's meditation. For some people, it's prayer. For some people, it's practicing what you learned during meditation. For some people, it's just learning to let go of things that you can't control anymore. For some people, it's just learning to accept situations that you can't change. This requires you to be in check of your ego, your pride, and so many other things that we don't want to change. And that's why things around us constantly affect us and constantly leads to us reacting to every single situation that happens in life. So these are the top 3 obstacles that we see in patients all across the world. 3 commonalities. 1, people are eating too many carbohydrates and they're going low on fat. They're going on all these low fat foods which are which are high in sugar, and it's messing up their entire metabolism and their entire weight loss, what they're trying to do for weight loss. The second is your sleep and recovery. If you train hard, you sleep well. You train hard, you recover hard. If you're going to train your legs and your back today and you have a late night party, it's not working for you. Don't do it. Just do a class of yoga, go for a walk if you know you're not going to have enough of time to recover. So you got to plan your lifestyle. That's why I'm not here to tell you stop partying and not stop socializing, but then you got to find that balance that works for your body. It's as simple as that. If you want to have everything in life, you got to learn how to be disciplined and how to make compensations around your lifestyle as well. And the third point that we just spoke about was your stress. Constantly exercise your mind, constantly work with your emotions, constantly work with your internal environment, what's happening inside of you. Because what's happening inside of you controls everything on the outside. You don't feel good on the inside, you're making the wrong food choices on the outside. You don't feel good on the inside, then you start looking for coping mechanisms that includes overeating, over-socializing, skimping on your sleep, which we all know is important for us. So it's really a balance of all these three things working together. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.